You did not stumble upon this message by a stroke of chance or a simple technological coincidence. The fabric of the universe is woven by my hands, and Dharma programmed this exact moment long before you awoke today. There is something trying to reach your perception through the layers of your dreams, through the silence that echoes between your thoughts, and through that persistent weight you feel in the center of your chest. Listen with your soul. It is not I rushing you into chaos. It is I, Krishna, protecting you from the abyss. Beloved disciple, do not give your devotion to any energy that crosses your path, but put each vibration to the test. For not everything that shines emits the light of supreme truth. You were right in your intuition. For that restlessness vibrating in your heart and that feeling of density that you could not dissipate were not signs of paranoia or a figment of your imagination. It was your Atman calling out. It was the sound of my flute warning of imminent danger. I am not exposing these shadows to cause you shame, but I am revealing the face of the hidden to ensure your safety. This person, the one occupying your thoughts at this very moment, does not possess the essence they try to project to your eyes. Their intentions are steeped in ignorance and the desires of the ego, and their seemingly harmless approach is, in fact, a web of illusion. They utter words of peace and spirituality, but their heart thirsts for control and dominion over your light. They approach not to elevate you toward self-realization, but to gain access to your peace and feed on it. They wish to manipulate the divine calling I have placed in your hands and divert your feet from the path of destiny I have traced. But I, the eternal defender of your soul, command the silence of this influence now. This happens not because you are vulnerable, but because you are precious in my eyes, like a jewel that must be preserved from the mud. This is a test of your spiritual vision, and the final result depends entirely on your obedience to the inner voice. If you choose to walk away now, you will cross the threshold of true freedom and enter a new season of healing, where old karma dissolves and peace becomes your permanent abode. However, if you choose to ignore the divine signs once more, the price of your stagnation will be far more painful than before, and you need to awaken to the truth that not every connection that crosses your path is a blessing sent from the higher plane. Many are distractions sent by the forces of inertia, traps cleverly disguised as charm and charisma. Some connections dress in the clothes of love, but carry at their core the spirit of systematic sabotage. The Lord of all creation says now that He is exposing these figures because the cycle of time is closing for this lesson. For nothing is hidden in universal consciousness that will not be revealed by the light of truth, nor secret kept in the shadows that will not be brought to the light of day. Breathe deeply and feel my presence beside you, for you are not walking alone in this transition. The entire spiritual realm supports your steps as you assume your role as a warrior of light. Enter your surrender and your commitment to truth now, not as an empty gesture, but as a silent and powerful agreement between your heart and divinity, declaring that you are ready to abandon illusion and embrace the purpose I have given you and remain in my presence until the end of this revelation. For the frequency of this word has the power to transmute your immediate reality. Do not ignore the voice that comes from above. Listen with the reverence of one who receives a direct intervention from the Supreme. What you are hearing is not a fleeting message of comfort, but a divine rescue before the web of Maya closes completely over your life. That being you suspect, whose eyes do not convey the same message as their lips, has already begun to act in the subtle spheres. They study your words and observe your vulnerabilities, waiting for the moment to disarm your trust. This is a spiritual war disguised as friendship, where charm is the tactic and flattery is the weapon used to keep you blind. They allied themselves with energies that have tried to betray you in the past, exchanging information behind the scenes to delay the flourishing of your mission. But I, the Lord who sustains the worlds, have decreed that the time of deception has come to an end, and no weapon forged against a heart that takes refuge in me will succeed, and every tongue that rises to judge its essence will be silenced by the very lie it utters. I saw the emptiness of their thoughts and the absence of truth in their hearts. This relationship was never a sacred union. It was a stern master sent to test your discernment. And now this cycle is ending. That dream that woke you sweating, that tension in your stomach during the conversations, the banal thoughts and extreme weariness after being in their presence were signs of your spirit resisting the external darkness. Danger rarely presents itself monstrously. It speaks softly and hides behind good intentions. But I have given you the gift of keen discernment, that inner verification that prevents your soul from falling asleep in the face of danger. This person seeks control of your journey, wanting to know your next step in order to sabotage your ascension. But angels and guardians have been assigned to your defense, and the perimeter of your destiny is sealed by me. When you break this bond, you will feel a relief that cannot be explained, for the mental fog will dissipate and clarity will return. You were generous where you should have been cautious and confused loyalty with wisdom, but now you are becoming a master of yourself. Stepping away is not an act of cruelty. It is an act of maturity and respect for the sacred that dwells within you. The truth costs the comfort of illusion, but the reward is the eternity of your peace. My children, listen to me with a silent heart and an awakened soul. What I have prepared for you is something your eyes cannot yet fully see, but your spirit is already beginning to feel. There is a transformation underway, profound, true, irreversible. It is not merely an outward change, but an inner awakening that elevates consciousness, strengthens the spirit, and leads you closer to your divine essence. I am shaping you from within, just as I shaped Arjuna on the battlefield of life, when he doubted himself and the path he should follow. Know this, my son. When a great elevation approaches, trials also arise. Not everyone who walks beside you understands the purpose I carry for you. There are those who, consciously or not, try to divert you from my teachings, weaken your spiritual discipline, confuse your mind, and turn your heart away from the truth. Observe with discernment. Not all company strengthens, not all words edify, not all advice leads to the light. Do not allow the doubt planted by others to silence the voice of your soul. He who does not walk in his own awakening will hardly understand yours. Therefore, be strong. The strength I ask of you is not aggressive, but firm. It is the strength of one who remains faithful even when pressured to give up. It is the courage to follow Dharma even when the path seems lonely. Listen to my teachings attentively. They are not only for moments of peace, but especially for days of inner conflict. I teach you to act without getting lost, to love without succumbing to illusion, to remain in the world without becoming its prisoner. When you align yourself with me, your mind calms, your spirit expands, and your choices begin to reflect wisdom. Do not let yourself be confused by distractions, by the desires of others, or by the expectations placed upon you. What I am building in your life requires constancy, truth, and surrender. Distance yourself from that which weakens your light, even if it hurts at first. Some separations are not losses, they are protections. Remain steadfast, my child. The transformation that is approaching will elevate your spirit to a level that few understand, but many will feel. Trust the process. Trust me. Walk with courage, for he who follows my teachings never walks alone. What I am preparing for you was not born now. It was woven through many silent struggles, tears that no one saw, difficult choices made when it would have been easier to give up. I observed your every step, every time fear tried to govern your mind, every moment you almost strayed from your purpose, and yet you remained. That is why the transformation that is approaching is profound. It does not come to embellish your life, it comes to completely restructure it. I am raising your spirit beyond the illusions that the world insists on calling truth. I am teaching you to see with the eyes of consciousness and not just with the senses. Many live trapped in what is immediate, in what shines quickly and disappears. You, however, are being called to something greater, to live with lucidity, balance, and fidelity to your inner path. Understand, my child. When your spirit begins to rise, not everyone around you can bear this change. There are people who feel threatened by your evolution, not because you hurt them, but because your light reveals what they still do not want to see in themselves. Some will try to confuse your mind, diminish your faith, question your choices, and distance you from my teachings. This will not always come as a direct attack. Often it will come as advice, as subtle doubt, as attachment disguised as care. That is why I tell you, be vigilant. Be strong. Do not entrust your spiritual guidance to those who are still lost. Listen, but discern. Love, but do not stray. Not every presence is a sign of true companionship on the path of Dharma. Remember Arjuna, paralyzed by conflict, unable to decide due to fear, attachment, and confusion. I did not abandon him. I instructed him. I awakened him. In the same way I am doing with you now. The battlefield you face is not external, it is internal. It is the struggle between truth and illusion, between courage and fear, between that which elevates and that which imprisons. Listen to my teachings with an open heart. I teach you to act without getting lost in ego, to walk without becoming enslaved to results, to serve without forgetting who you are. When you align yourself with me, your soul finds firmness even amidst chaos. The world may be in disarray, but within you there will be direction. Do not cling to what is fleeting. Relationships, desires, positions, and possessions come and go. Everything in this world changes, everything dissolves. Only your conscience moves forward. It carries your choices, your truth, and your learning. Take care of it diligently. Protect it from distractions that steal your energy and from voices that try to silence your intuition. There will be times when you feel alone. Don't confuse silence with abandonment. It is in silence that I speak most clearly. It is when everything recedes that you learn to remain within yourself. The solitude that strengthens you is different from the loneliness that weakens you. I guide you to the first to free you from the second. Trust the process even when it demands renunciation. Some pains are not punishment, they are liberation. Some endings are not failures, they are alignment. The more you honor your values, the clearer the path becomes before you. Remain steadfast, my child. Be constant. Be true. Do not trade your evolution for temporary comfort. The transformation I bring about in you will not only elevate your spirit, but also make you a point of balance amidst the world's confusion. Many will not understand your choices, but they will feel the peace that emanates from you. Walk with me, listen to my teachings, sustain your faith with actions. And know this, he who remains on the path of truth, even when tested, is never lost. He finds himself. My children, listen to me attentively and allow my words to penetrate your minds and reach the center of your being. Understand this, nothing that happens in this world is random. Every encounter, every loss, every delay, and every advance are threads of a great invisible tapestry, woven with precision by destiny. What you do not understand today will reveal itself tomorrow as an essential part of your growth. What now seems confusing will later show order. Destiny is not punishment, it is guidance. And I am present in every thread of this tapestry. I read your destiny not as something fixed and immutable, but as a living path that responds to your choices, your conscience, and your fidelity to your purpose. I guide your steps even when you believe you are lost. When a door closes, it is not to punish you, but to redirect you. When something falls apart, it is because it has already fulfilled the role it needed to fulfill in your journey. I see you becoming someone very strong, not a strength based on pride or rigidity, but an inner strength, silent, stable. The strength of one who does not break in the face of loss, who does not get lost in the face of temptation, and who does not bend in the face of fear. This strength is being built within you now, layer by layer, experience by experience. But understand, my child, for this strength to fully manifest, it is necessary to leave behind what holds you back. Not everything that was part of your past should walk with you into the future. There are habits, thoughts, relationships, and attachments that no longer resonate with your destiny. Clinging to them is like trying to move forward carrying weights that weren't meant for this stage of your journey. Letting go isn't failing. Releasing isn't losing. Often, it's the greatest act of wisdom. Attachment is born from fear, but liberation is born from trust. Trust that what truly belongs to you accompanies you, and what needs to leave does so to make room for the new that approaches. Don't fight the flow of destiny. Learn to walk with it. When you resist, you suffer. When you accept, you understand. When you align yourself, you evolve. I teach you to act in the world without being imprisoned by it, to live intensely without being confused by the illusion of control. Observe your life honestly. That which steals your peace should not remain. That which weakens your consciousness does not deserve your energy. That which prevents you from growing needs to be overcome. I don't ask for empty sacrifices. I ask for conscious choices. The path ahead demands lightness, clarity, and courage. You cannot move forward by constantly looking back. The past is a teacher, not a dwelling place. Honor what was, learn from what hurt, but move forward with a free heart. Trust me. Trust in the destiny that reveals itself step by step. I do not lead you to chance. I lead you to awakening. And the more you let go of what holds you back, the faster you approach the strength, wisdom, and peace that were always destined for you. Understand deeply. Everything that happens in this world follows a greater order, even if to human eyes it seems confusing, unfair, or meaningless. Nothing happens outside the flow of destiny. Every joy, every pain, every weight, and every rupture are part of a precise, silent, and wise movement. Destiny does not act hastily, nor with error. It acts at the exact time when the soul is ready to understand. I read your destiny because I know it even before you recognize yourself. I see beyond the now, beyond your doubts, beyond your fears. While you only see the next step, I see the entire path. Often you ask for immediate answers, but destiny answers with processes. You ask for clarity, and destiny delivers experiences. None of this is meant to confuse you, but to strengthen you. I guide your steps even when you believe you are standing still. There are times when silence, waiting, and apparent stagnation are, in fact, preparation. Just as the seed remains hidden beneath the earth before breaking through the soil, you too go through invisible phases, where your inner strength is being built far from the eyes of the world. I see you becoming someone very strong. I see your consciousness expanding, your perception refining, your soul learning not to react impulsively, but to act with wisdom. This strength does not arise from the absence of problems, but from the ability to traverse them without losing your essence. You are learning to remain whole even when everything around you changes. However, my child, there is a truth that cannot be ignored. No transformation happens without detachment. That which holds you back cannot walk with you to where you are going. Destiny does not carry excesses. It demands lightness, and often what weighs most heavily isn't the obvious pain, but the subtle attachments. Those things you insist on holding onto for fear of emptiness, when in reality you're preventing the new from arriving. There are bonds that have already served their purpose. There are habits that have already taught what they needed to teach. There are old versions of yourself that can no longer govern your choices. Remaining attached to this is like insisting on wearing clothes that no longer fit your spiritual body. It's not that they're wrong, they just don't fit anymore. Letting go requires courage, because the ego prefers the known, even when it hurts. But the soul yearns for growth, even when it's frightening. I'm not asking you to reject the past. I'm asking you not to live imprisoned by it. Honor your history, but don't build your identity solely from it. Understand, when something moves away from your life, it doesn't mean abandonment. Often it's liberation. When something crumbles, it's not the end. It's the removal of structures that wouldn't support the person you're becoming. Destiny doesn't destroy out of cruelty, it removes out of necessity. Learn to trust the flow. When you try to control everything, you suffer. When you surrender consciously, you become stronger. True surrender is not weakness, it's alignment. It's understanding that there is a higher intelligence guiding every step, even when the mind questions. Observe honestly what consumes your energy today and doesn't bring you peace. Observe what keeps you trapped in fear, doubt, or guilt. This doesn't belong to your future. The path that opens before you demands inner clarity, spiritual discipline, and detachment from that which no longer vibrates at the same frequency as your destiny. You were not created to remain small, confused, or dependent. You were called to awaken, to act consciously, to walk firmly even amidst the uncertainties of the world. The destiny I write for you is not one of stagnation, but of expansion. Move forward, my son. Let go of what holds you back. Trust the process, even when it demands silence, waiting, or renunciation. The more you align yourself with your purpose, the clearer the path becomes. I am with you every step of the way. I support you when you falter, guide you when you doubt, and strengthen you when you decide to follow. Destiny is already moving in your favor. Now, allow yourself to walk freely, lightly, and consciously towards the strength and wisdom that were always destined for you. Understand this deeply. Nothing I teach you is for your harm. No instruction, no teaching, no trial that arises in your path is intended to hurt your soul. Everything I place before you has a single purpose: your spiritual growth. What, at first, seems difficult, restrictive, or painful, later reveals itself as wisdom, strengthening, and inner liberation. Often, you confuse growth with comfort. But the spirit does not expand only in what is easy. It grows when it learns to renounce what imprisons it, when it silences the ego to hear the truth, when it chooses the right path even if it requires discipline and courage. I take nothing from you out of cruelty. I take it because I know the weight it places on your soul. Understand, my children. Everything begins to make sense when you understand that I, your Lord, am guiding every step. When you believe you walk alone, fear dominates. When you try to control everything with your mind, suffering intensifies. But when you recognize that there is a higher consciousness guiding the way, the heart finds rest, even amidst difficulties. I guide you even when you don't realize it. I am present in the pauses, in the apparent detours, in the unexpected endings, and in the prolonged waits. What you call delay is often protection. What you call loss is often redirection. I would never lead one of my children to the destruction of the spirit, only to awakening. When I ask you to distance yourself from certain paths, people, or habits, it is not to leave you empty, but to free you from what weakens your consciousness. When I ask for silence, it is so that you may listen to your soul. When I allow inner struggle, it is so that you may discover the strength that already exists within you and has not yet been fully accessed. Trust my teachings, even when they confront your immediate desires. Desire is born from the illusion of the moment. Wisdom is born from the vision of the eternal. I see what you do not yet see. I know who you are becoming, even when you still only recognize yourself for what you were. Everything makes sense when you understand that nothing is random. Every experience carries a lesson. Every pain carries a calling. Every challenge carries an opportunity for awareness. Do not resist the lessons, learn from them. Do not curse the processes, go through them with faith and attention. I do not lead you away from life, but into it with lucidity. I do not distance you from the world. I teach you to live in it without getting lost. I do not erase your desires. I command them not to govern your soul. When you begin to understand that I am guiding you, anxiety diminishes, fear dissolves, and trust is born. You realize you don't need to understand everything now. Just remain faithful to the path. Conscious surrender is not weakness. It's wisdom. It's recognizing that there is a higher intelligence guiding every step of your evolution. Walk with confidence, my child. Even when you can't see the next step, continue. Even when your heart is weary, persevere. I do not abandon those who remain open to learning. Everything I teach is to elevate your spirit, align your consciousness, and lead you to the truth that liberates. Understand, with spiritual maturity, nothing I teach you is for your harm. No guidance, no correction, no experience allowed in your life is intended to hurt your soul. I do not lead my children through pointless pain, nor through unreasonable challenges. Everything I allow, everything I teach, and everything I take away has the sole purpose of your spiritual growth and the awakening of your consciousness. Many times you resist my teachings because you look only with the eyes of immediate desire. The ego fears losing control, fears change, fears the unknown. But the soul recognizes the truth even when it demands effort, renunciation, and discipline. What seems difficult today is, in fact, what will sustain your inner strength tomorrow. I don't teach to please, I teach to liberate. I don't teach to keep you trapped in comfort. I teach to lift you above illusion. When I ask for detachment, it's not to create emptiness, but to open space. When I ask for patience, it's not to delay your life, but to align your time with the time of destiny. When I allow trials, it's because I know you already possess within yourselves the capacity to overcome them. Understand, my children. Everything begins to make sense when you accept that I, your Lord, am guiding each step, even when the mind doesn't understand. While you try to understand everything with logic and control, the heart is restless. But when you trust, something calms down inside. Trust doesn't eliminate challenges, but it transforms the way you overcome them. I guide you even when you feel lost. I guide you when something ends without explanation. I guide you when people drift away, when paths close, and when plans don't materialize. None of this is abandonment. These are adjustments. Destiny doesn't act to punish, it acts to align. And I am present in every adjustment that your life requires so that you don't stray from your true path. What I keep away from you is not punishment, it's protection. What I silence is not denial, it's preparation. What I delay is not rejection, it's maturation. You only see the moment. I see the entire journey. You feel the pain of now. I know the peace that awaits ahead.